Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video, we're going to explore something really interesting and exciting. So, if you want to find out what you'll learn by staying with us till the end, make sure to watch the whole video. Stay with us, because whatever you might miss could be really important. Let's get started. Have you ever wondered how a simple coin, an everyday object that most of us rarely give a second glance, could hold such fascinating stories? What if I told you that a single 2006 1-dime coin could be worth a small fortune today? We're talking about an unexpected treasure, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for the right person to discover its true value. It all starts with something as ordinary as a dime, a coin you might find in your couch cushions, tucked away in a jar, or even in your pocket change. But let's dive into the rich history of this tiny coin, its iconic design, the journey it took through the US Mint, and the thrilling reason why some of these coins are now valued at a jaw-dropping $103,000. But first, let's rewind the clock and look at what makes this coin so special. The history of the dime dates back to the late 18th century, when the United States first began minting coins. By the 1790s, the US Mint had already started producing coins in different denominations, including the dime. It wasn't just any coin, it was designed to carry forward the ideals of the nation, symbolizing both the strength of the young republic and the wisdom of its founders. Now, fast forward to 2006. By this point, the US Mint had gone through centuries of trial and error in coin designs, each iteration reflecting a snapshot of the culture, values, and economic landscape of its time. The dime, however, remained a symbol of consistency and tradition. So what made the 2006 1-dime so special? In 2006, the US Mint produced a series of coins to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Franklin D. Roosevelt Dime. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, had passed away in 1945, and in 1946, the dime was redesigned in his honor. His likeness has graced the coin ever since. But for collectors and coin enthusiasts, the 2006 version of the dime wasn't just another run-of-the-mill production, it was part of a very limited release that would soon gain the attention of numismatists around the world. So, let's talk about the design. The obverse, or front, of the 2006 dime features the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, as designed by artist John R. Sinnock. Roosevelt's dignified face has been a hallmark of the dime for over 70 years, so it's no surprise that his image remains iconic. But there's more to the story. In 2006, the reverse, or back side of the dime, displayed the traditional design of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. This reverse design was created by artist Felix Schlag in 1938 and was also used on the Roosevelt dimes for decades. The symbolism of these elements is rich, each item carries a strong, positive meaning. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch symbolizes peace, and the oak branch stands for strength and unity. It's a design that communicates the values of the United States clearly and powerfully. For years, this has been the standard on every Roosevelt dime produced. But in 2006, something changed in how these dimes were produced and distributed. Minting the 2006 dimes was no small task. The US Mint has several facilities across the country, but the most notable for producing dimes are the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These two mints produced millions of dimes every year, ensuring that the coin was available in circulation for everyday use. However, what sets the 2006 dime apart from its predecessors is the fact that certain batches were struck with unique features that made them stand out to collectors. To understand why the 2006 dime became a sensation, we need to talk about a few specific production quirks and the mysterious errors that occurred. As with any mass production, errors happen. And sometimes, these mistakes are exactly what collectors are looking for. One of the most coveted dimes from the 2006 series features what's known as a double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice by the dies used to imprint the design, resulting in a blurry or shifted image. While most of these errors go unnoticed by the general public, they can be extremely valuable for collectors who understand their significance. Imagine having a coin in your hand that, by sheer accident, became a historical artifact, a dime that was never meant to be like the others. That's exactly what happened with a select few 2006 dimes. These error coins, struck with double dies or other imperfections, are often the ones that attract the attention of serious collectors. But why? Because error coins are rare. They represent a deviation from the norm, a coin that wasn't supposed to exist in that form. And rarity, as any collector will tell you, is what drives value in the world of numismatics, and that leads us to the real treasure of the 2006 dime, a story that goes beyond the minting process and into the world of passionate collectors. You see, in the world of coin collecting, there's an entire subculture of enthusiasts who are willing to pay top dollar for the rarest and most unique pieces. This is where the 2006 one-dime coin really shines. The market for rare coins is both highly competitive and incredibly specialized. The coin's condition, rarity, and historical context all play a significant role in determining its value. In 2006, one such dime, a perfectly preserved error coin, was auctioned off at a numismatic event. Experts had already pegged it as something special, but no one expected what would happen next. The bidding started slowly, as with most auctions, but as word spread about the rarity of this particular coin, the price began to rise exponentially. Finally, after a tense back and forth between a handful of determined bidders, the coin was sold for a staggering $103,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. One single dime, minted in 2006, sold for over $100,000. And it wasn't just any dime, it was a perfectly preserved error coin, a rarity among rarities. How could a coin that only costs 10 cents in face value be worth so much? The answer lies in its uniqueness, its scarcity, and the demand from collectors who understand the value of such a rare find. The buyer of that coin wasn't just purchasing a dime, they were investing in a piece of history, a part of the American story captured in a single piece of metal. Now, you might be wondering, how do you know if you have a 2006 dime that's worth $103,000? Well, here's the key takeaway: you'll need to be vigilant. The error coins are incredibly rare, but they do exist. They may not be easy to spot, and they may not be sitting in your pocket change, but if you're lucky enough to find one, it could be worth a fortune. So, the next time you reach for your spare change, take a closer look. The 2006 one dime might look like any other dime, but hidden within its tiny design could be a treasure worth thousands of dollars. And if you happen to find one with an error, who knows? You could be the lucky person to strike it rich. The 2006 USA one dime coin may seem like a small, ordinary object, but as we've seen today, it has a story that's anything but ordinary. From its rich history, to its iconic design, to the rare errors that make some of these dimes worth tens of thousands of dollars, this little coin is proof that sometimes, the greatest treasures come in the smallest packages. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of rare coins. Don't forget to check your change, keep your eyes peeled for hidden gems, and subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of numismatics. Who knows what treasure you might find next? The top 2 dime. Have you ever looked at a dime and thought it might be more than just a 10-cent coin? Well, in the case of the 2013 USA one dime coin, it turns out that there's a lot more to this little piece of currency than meets the eye. From its historical background to the intricacies of its design, the 2013 dime has a story that's full of surprises, and, believe it or not, this coin could be worth much more than its face value. In fact, there's a version of the 2013 dime that's been known to fetch an incredible $92,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. But how did a simple dime, produced in millions, become a rare treasure worth that much? Let's dive into this remarkable story, starting with the basics. What is a dime, and how did it become an essential part of American currency? The dime, as a coin, has been in circulation in the United States for over 2 centuries. First minted in 1796, the dime has seen countless designs and reimaginings throughout its history. By the time the 20th century rolled around, it had undergone several changes, but the Roosevelt Dime, which we recognize today, was introduced in 1946 to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt, who had passed away the year before, was a revered figure, and the U.S. Mint decided to immortalize him on the dime, a coin he had used frequently during his presidency. The design of the Roosevelt Dime, crafted by artist John R. Sinnock, featured Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, and the reverse depicted a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. This design became iconic, and since its introduction in 1946, the Roosevelt Dime has remained one of the most recognizable coins in American currency. Fast forward to 2013. By this time, the design of the Roosevelt Dime had not changed for more than 60 years, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. But 2013 was still a notable year for the dime. While there were no major redesigns, the coin produced in that year still had a few surprises waiting for those who looked closely enough. In terms of production, the U.S. Mint continued its standard operations in 2013, with dimes being minted at their two primary facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Millions of dimes were struck, ensuring that there was an adequate supply of the coin for everyday circulation. But as with all mass-produced items, it's not always the common ones that hold the most value. Let's take a moment to talk about the key details of the 2013 dime. It is, of course, composed of a copper-nickel-clad mixture, with a weight of 2.268 grams and a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. On the front of the coin, you'll find the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, which has remained unchanged since the coin's inception in 1946. The reverse side of the coin still features the torch, olive branch, and oak branch. However, as with any large-scale production, errors can happen. These errors are often the key to a coin's future value, as they make certain coins much rarer than others. In the case of the 2013 dime, there were a few notable examples that stood out to collectors due to their imperfections, and these were the coins that would eventually end up fetching thousands, even tens of thousands, of dollars at auctions. So, what makes the 2013 dime so special to collectors? To understand this, we need to delve into the world of coin errors. Error coins occur when there is an issue during the minting process, whether it's an incorrect strike, misaligned dies, or something even rarer. In some cases, these errors are minor and go unnoticed by the public, while in other cases, they can drastically alter the coin's value. One of the most sought-after 2013 dimes is one that was struck with a double die error. This occurs when the dies used to strike the coin aren't perfectly aligned, resulting in an image that is slightly doubled or shifted. In the case of the 2013 dime, this error was particularly rare and very subtle, making it challenging for most people to spot. The result was a coin that looked like any other dime, except for those who knew what to look for. These doubled die dimes caught the attention of serious collectors, and before long, they were being sold for significant amounts at coin auctions. There are also a few examples of 2013 dimes with other types of errors, like off-center strikes or die cracks. These errors may seem small, but they have a massive impact on the coin's collectability. A dime that might normally be worth just 10 cents could suddenly become a rare piece of history, worth thousands of dollars. But it wasn't just the errors that made the 2013 dime stand out in the world of coin collecting. It was also the condition of certain coins. In the world of numismatics, the condition of a coin is everything. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth far more than coins that have been worn down by years of handling. Some of the 2013 dimes, especially those that were preserved in near-perfect condition, garnered attention from collectors who were willing to pay a premium for a coin that was as close to flawless as possible. This brings us to the most exciting part of the 2013 dime story, the value of some of these rare finds. As previously mentioned, some 2013 dimes, due to their error features and pristine condition, have been known to fetch incredible prices at auctions. One such example sold for a staggering $92,000. How does a coin worth 10 cents end up selling for over $90,000? The answer lies in its rarity and demand from collectors. Error coins are highly prized because they represent a deviation from the norm. They're not just coins, they're pieces of history, coins that were never meant to exist in that form. When a coin is struck with an error, it becomes one of a kind, and that rarity makes it highly desirable to collectors. Furthermore, the 2013 dime's long-standing connection to the Roosevelt Dime series only adds to its appeal. To own a piece of this series, especially one with an error, is to own a piece of American history. You might be wondering, how do you spot a 2013 dime that could be worth $92,000? Well, the key is to examine the coin closely. First, look for any signs of errors, such as a doubled image or a misaligned strike. If you find something unusual, it's a good idea to take it to a professional for an evaluation. Even if you don't spot an error, don't dismiss the coin entirely. A perfectly preserved 2013 dime can also be worth a significant amount if it's in excellent condition. Now that we've covered the basics of the 2013 dime, you might be asking yourself how to get started in collecting these valuable coins. The answer is simple: keep an eye out for unusual coins in your change, attend coin shows, and always be on the lookout for those rare, hard-to-find error coins. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, the world of numismatics is full of hidden treasures just waiting to be discovered. In conclusion, the 2013 USA 1 dime coin might seem like an ordinary piece of currency at first glance, but as we've seen, it's anything but. From its historical significance and iconic design to the rare errors and high-value finds, this little coin has a story that captivates the imagination. So the next time you find a dime in your pocket, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just be holding a piece of American history worth thousands of dollars. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the fascinating world of rare coins. Be sure to subscribe for more stories about hidden treasures, and keep your eyes peeled for the next coin that could be worth a fortune. After all, sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. The top 3 dime. Imagine for a moment, holding a coin that seems so ordinary, just another dime, a small, everyday piece of currency that most of us barely think about. We toss them in jars, leave them in the bottom of our bags, or sometimes, we don't even notice them when they fall into our pockets. But what if I told you that one particular dime, the 2004 USA 1 dime coin, could be worth a staggering $98,000? Yes, that's right, a dime worth nearly $100,000. How does a coin like this, which seems so mundane, have such a remarkable story? Well, this is where things get interesting. To understand the true value of the 2004 dime, we need to start with its historical context. Dimes, in general, have a long and rich history in the United States, stretching all the way back to the late 1700s. They've undergone numerous changes, reflecting the values and artistry of each era, but the one thing that has remained constant is their place in American currency. From their first minting in 1796, dimes were always there, a small but vital piece of the economy. However, the 2004 dime stands out among the many others because of a perfect combination of history, design, and, of course, a certain rare error that would make it one of the most sought-after coins by collectors. The Roosevelt Dime, which graces the face of the 2004 dime, has a legacy all its own. Introduced in 1946, it was designed by John R. Sinnock, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver, as a tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year, was chosen for the honor due to his significant impact on the nation during the Great Depression and World War II. The design was simple yet dignified, a portrait of Roosevelt facing left, with the inscription, Liberty, and the year of minting, along with, In God We Trust. On the reverse, there's a symbol that's almost as iconic, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. Fast forward to 2004. By this time, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for over half a century. It was a tried and true coin, one that most people were familiar with, and it continued to serve as a staple of American currency. But the 2004 issue didn't just mark another year of regular minting. No, 2004 was a special year for the dime for a couple of reasons. First, there were the regular minting runs of the Roosevelt dime, struck in the usual quantities by the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These coins were produced in the millions, distributed widely into circulation, and used by the public for everyday transactions. But for collectors, it wasn't just the normal coins that caught attention. In fact, a certain subset of 2004 dimes, produced in limited quantities and with a few notable errors, would soon find their way into the spotlight. Now, let's talk about the design of the 2004 dime. As with all Roosevelt dimes, the coin features the familiar image of President Roosevelt on the obverse, with the "Liberty" inscription above and "In God We Trust" to the right of his portrait. Below Roosevelt's neck is the artist's mark, JS, standing for John Sinnock, the designer of the original image. On the reverse, we have the traditional design featuring the torch, olive branch, and oak branch. The year, 2004, is inscribed at the bottom of the reverse, along with the word e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. The 2004 dime, in and of itself, isn't significantly different from other dimes minted in the years before or after it. It's the same size, weighing 2.268 grams, and it has the same copper-nickel clad composition. The design was timeless, a classic image that had been in circulation for decades. But as is often the case with coins, something was about to set the 2004 dime apart from the rest. The most significant factor that would eventually make the 2004 dime worth thousands, possibly even hundreds of thousands of dollars, was a rare error that occurred during the minting process. As with many coins, small mistakes happen, and sometimes those mistakes can turn an ordinary piece of currency into something incredibly valuable. In this case, a certain number of 2004 dimes were struck with a mistake that caught the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike. These dimes were struck with a double die error, a mistake where the coin is struck twice by the die, creating a slightly blurry or doubled image of the design elements. A double die error can happen when the coin is struck more than once, but the die is misaligned, leading to an overlapping image. In the case of the 2004 dime, this error was subtle but noticeable, especially on the details of Roosevelt's portrait and the inscription, Liberty. The results of this error were stunning. The doubling of Roosevelt's features made the coin look as if it had been struck by two separate dies, and that made it an anomaly in the world of coin collecting. And as any collector will tell you, anomalies are what makes certain coins valuable. Another key to the 2004 dime's high value lies in the fact that error coins are rare, extremely rare, in fact. A coin that was struck incorrectly doesn't enter circulation in the same way as a properly minted coin, and those that do make it into circulation often get overlooked or discarded. This means that the handful of 2004 dimes with the double die error became extremely sought after, as collectors realized how unique and rare they were. But it wasn't just the error that made these coins valuable, it was the condition they were in. In the world of numismatics, the condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins that are well preserved, without wear and tear from being handled, can fetch a much higher price than coins that are worn down. Some of the 2004 dimes with the double die error were preserved in near-perfect condition, making them all the more valuable to collectors. In the world of coin auctions, this 2004 dime, with its double die error and flawless condition, became the centerpiece of bidding wars. In one famous auction, a particularly pristine example of this coin sold for an eye-watering $98,000, nearly 10,000 times its original value. How did this happen? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and the appeal of a unique coin that captured the imagination of collectors. But how do you, as a viewer, recognize a 2004 dime that might be worth such an extraordinary sum? The first step is to check for the double die error. Look closely at Roosevelt's portrait and the word Liberty to see if there's any doubling or blurring. It's a subtle error, but it's visible to those who know what to look for. If you find one of these coins, the next step would be to have it professionally evaluated by a numismatist or a trusted coin dealer. The condition of the coin will also play a significant role in determining its value, so if you have one in excellent shape, it's worth getting appraised. Now, you might be wondering how you can start collecting coins, or perhaps you're asking, why does a coin like this become so valuable in the first place? The answer lies in the world of numismatics. Coin collecting isn't just about having a collection of shiny, colorful pieces of currency, it's about history, rarity, and the thrill of finding something that others have overlooked. Error coins like the 2004 double die dime are rare treasures that represent a mistake in history, and collectors often find value in those imperfections. It's the same reason why people collect baseball cards or vintage cars. There's something special about owning a piece of history, especially when it has a story behind it. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the world of numismatics is full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. The next time you come across a dime, take a moment to examine it closely. Who knows? That simple coin in your pocket might be more than just pocket change, it could be worth a small fortune. In the case of the 2004 USA 1 dime coin, this seemingly ordinary dime turned into a rare and valuable piece of American history. From its timeless design to the rare minting error that made it a collector's dream, the 2004 dime is a prime example of how a simple coin can become a treasure. So next time you're holding a dime, remember, sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of rare coins. Be sure to subscribe, stay tuned for more fascinating stories about hidden treasures, and keep your eyes peeled for the next coin that could be worth a fortune. The top 4 dime. There are times in life when the most ordinary objects can surprise us with their hidden value. And if you've ever wondered how a simple dime, just 10 cents, could be worth anything beyond its face value, you're about to be amazed. Picture this, a 2002 USA 1 dime coin that, on the surface, appears to be just another piece of pocket change. But beneath its small, unassuming exterior lies a remarkable story that stretches back through history, combines artistry and craftsmanship, and ultimately leads to a stunning discovery that this dime could be worth $99,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, a dime worth nearly $100,000. How did this happen? Well, buckle up, because the journey of the 2002 dime is far more fascinating than you might think. Let's begin with a bit of history. The story of the dime is one that stretches all the way back to the late 18th century, when the United States first began minting its own coins. The dime, a coin worth 1/10 of a dollar, was one of the original denominations authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792. Since then, it has undergone numerous changes in design, size, and composition, but it has always maintained its symbolic role in the American economy. Now, let's fast forward to 2002, a year that, for many, was just another blip on the radar of modern history. But for numismatists, coin collectors, 2002 marked a notable year for the dimes that were minted. The design of the Roosevelt dime, which had been in circulation since 1946, was still in place. Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, had been honored by his likeness on the obverse of the dime in a design crafted by artist John R. Sinnock. Sinnock's portrait of Roosevelt became one of the most enduring images in U.S. coinage, and it has remained on the dime without change for over 70 years. For most of us, the 2002 dime might have seemed like just another piece of currency, but for collectors, it was a year that would set the stage for something special. While the design remained consistent, 2002 saw an increase in the production of dimes due to various economic factors, including the need to replenish the coin supply and circulation. The U.S. Mint, responsible for producing coins, continued its operations at its primary minting facilities in Philadelphia and Denver. Millions of dimes were produced in these two cities, ensuring that the coin remained a staple of everyday transactions, but there was something different about the 2002 1 dime. A small number of these dimes would end up being struck with a rare and unintentional error, a minting flaw that would go unnoticed by most people, but would be highly prized by those in the numismatic community. As with many coins throughout history, errors and mistakes can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a valuable rarity. One of the most famous and sought-after errors in the world of coin collecting is the double die error. This is a phenomenon where a coin is struck twice by the die, but the second strike is misaligned or offset. The result is a coin that features a double image, sometimes subtle, sometimes very obvious. In the case of the 2002 dime, a number of coins were struck with a double die error, and these became the holy grail for collectors. The error was small, but the impact was enormous. So, what exactly is a double die error, and why does it matter? To understand this, we need to take a quick detour into the minting process. Coins are made using metal dies that are engraved with the design of the coin. These dies are then used to strike the coin, imprinting the design onto the blank planchet, the metal disc that will become the coin. When a coin is struck by the die, it is done once, but occasionally, during the minting process, a die may strike the coin a second time. If the die isn't perfectly aligned, it creates a doubling effect, where the image appears twice, usually with a slight offset. In the case of the 2002 dime, the error was subtle but still noticeable to those who were experienced in the world of coin collecting. The doubling was most apparent on Roosevelt's portrait and the inscription, "Liberty." This doubled feature made the coin a one-of-a-kind anomaly, setting it apart from the millions of other standard 2002 dimes that were produced without any errors. Now, why does this matter? Why would anyone be willing to pay thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, for a coin that seems like it was just a mistake? The answer lies in the rarity of these errors. When an error like this occurs, it's typically very limited in number. The minting process is carefully monitored, and coins with errors like double dies usually don't make it into circulation for very long. Most are caught and corrected before they ever make it out of the mint. But on rare occasions, a small number slip through the cracks, and that's where the value comes in. A coin that was never meant to exist in that form becomes a highly prized collector's item, and this is where the 2002 dime really begins to shine. The coins that were struck with this double die error were rare, and those that were in pristine condition became highly coveted. But there's more to the story. Not only was the coin rare, but the 2002 dimes that survived in perfect condition had the potential to fetch astronomical prices at auctions. The combination of rarity, the error, and the condition of the coin was a recipe for big money. In 2002, most of these error coins were either overlooked or quickly spent as part of daily transactions. However, as time passed, collectors began to take notice. The 2002 double die dimes started to appear at coin shows, and before long, experts were declaring them one of the most desirable coins of the year. The value of the 2002 dime with the double die error began to climb, and some examples were eventually sold at auctions for tens of thousands of dollars. But the real shocker came when one particular coin, a flawless example of the 2002 double die dime, sold for a jaw-dropping $99,000. That's right, one dime, worth just 10 cents in face value, was sold for nearly $100,000 at auction. How does this happen? It's all about rarity, condition, and the intense demand from collectors who know that coins like these don't come around every day. For someone who loves numismatics, owning a piece of history like this is priceless. And for those who see coin collecting as an investment, the 2002 double die dime became a golden opportunity. So, how can you get your hands on one of these rare and valuable coins? The first step is to be diligent. Keep an eye on your change and check the dimes you come across. Look closely at the design, particularly at Roosevelt's portrait and the inscription, "Liberty." If you spot any doubling or misalignment, it could be the error you're looking for. But, of course, not every dime is going to be a rare find. That's why collectors recommend learning more about the minting process, studying error coins, and perhaps attending coin shows where you can find more information and possibly even purchase error coins from reputable dealers. While it's certainly rare to find a 2002 dime worth $99,000, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems waiting to be uncovered. Coins with errors like the double die 2002 dime serve as a reminder that even the most mundane objects can hold incredible value. And in the world of numismatics, sometimes the most overlooked coins turn out to be the most valuable. The 2002 USA 1 dime coin is a perfect example of how history, craftsmanship, and rarity can combine to create something truly extraordinary. From its humble beginnings as a regular issue coin, it became a sought-after treasure because of a small error that turned it into something far more significant. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone interested in the fascinating world of rare coins, the story of the 2002 dime is a testament to the hidden treasures that can be found in the most unexpected places. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled for any rare finds you might come across, and remember, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Who knows what you'll discover next? The top 5 dime. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, just a simple, small dime. At first glance, it might seem like nothing special, just another piece of change tossed into a pocket or dropped into a jar. You wouldn't think much of it, until you discover that this seemingly ordinary 2005 USA 1 dime coin could be worth an astounding $88,000. That's right. Nearly $100,000 for a coin that many of us overlook every day. So, how did this happen? How did a 2005 dime, worth only 10 cents by face value, end up in the spotlight as a highly valuable collector's item? To understand this remarkable story, we have to travel back through time, take a look at the history and design of the dime, and uncover a rare error that turned this coin into a treasure sought after by collectors across the globe. The story of the dime itself begins long before 2005. In fact, the United States has been minting dimes since 1796, when the very first dime was introduced. The dime, a coin worth 1/10 of a dollar, was part of the Coinage Act of 1792, which laid the foundation for the nation's coinage system. Over the years, the design of the dime has evolved with the times, reflecting different historical events, artistic trends, and changes in American culture. For most of its history, the dime has undergone several transformations. But one design that stood the test of time was introduced in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt, who had served as the 32nd President of the United States, was honored by having his likeness appear on the obverse of the dime. This was no ordinary decision. It marked a tribute to Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his role in founding the March of Dimes, an organization dedicated to combating polio. The design of the Roosevelt Dime, created by U.S. Mint engraver John Sinnock, has remained largely unchanged for decades. Roosevelt's profile appears on the front of the coin, while the reverse side features a bundle of olive branches and a torch, symbols of peace and liberty. The coin's simple yet dignified design has made it one of the most enduring images in U.S. coinage. When the 2005 1 dime was minted, it continued to follow this long-standing design tradition. The coin featured Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse, with the word "Liberty" inscribed above and the year of minting, 2005, along with the motto, "In God We Trust." The reverse of the coin depicted the familiar torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols that have represented the United States' core values for generations. However, while the design of the 2005 dime was in line with tradition, it wasn't long before something extraordinary happened, something that would set this particular year's coin apart from the millions of other dimes circulating at the time. You see, like many coins, the 2005 dime was produced in vast quantities. The U.S. Mint, which oversees coin production, minted millions of these dimes at its 2 main facilities, one in Philadelphia and one in Denver. These coins were distributed across the country, used in everyday transactions, and spent with little thought or consideration. But while most of these dimes were perfectly ordinary, some of them would leave the mint with a subtle, but critical, error, a flaw that would go unnoticed by the vast majority of people. This error, which occurred during the minting process, became the key to the 2005 dime's enormous value. What happened, specifically, was a double die error, a mistake where the coin's design is struck multiple times, creating an overlapping or doubled image. When a die is struck more than once, the second strike may not align properly with the first, creating a doubling effect. This error, while not uncommon in the world of coin production, is considered rare enough to make a coin highly valuable, especially when the error is clear and precise. In the case of the 2005 dime, the double die error was most noticeable on the word liberty, which appeared as if it had been struck twice. It wasn't just a slight misalignment, the doubling was pronounced, creating a visually striking image. This error occurred in only a small number of 2005 dimes, making them incredibly rare. Most of these coins would have been pulled from circulation quickly, as the minting error would have been identified during quality control checks. But some made it into the public's hands, and it didn't take long for collectors to notice the difference. Now, why does this error matter so much to coin collectors, and why would a simple dime from 2005 end up being worth so much? The answer lies in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. For coin enthusiasts, errors and anomalies are what make a coin valuable. Coins that are minted correctly are plentiful and common, but errors, like double dies or other imperfections, are rare. When a coin is struck incorrectly, it becomes a piece of history, a unique item that has something about it that no other coin can replicate. For collectors, it's not just about the coin's value in terms of currency, it's about owning something rare, something that others might never find. This is where the 2005 double die dime took on a life of its own in the numismatic community. Because the error was so limited and because the coins that survived were often in great condition, demand for these error dimes skyrocketed. Coin collectors from all over the world began to search for them, and when they did surface, they often sold for far more than their face value, sometimes by a factor of 10, 20, or more, and then, in an incredible twist of fate, a particularly pristine example of the 2005 double die dime was auctioned off for an unbelievable $88,000. That's right, one dime, worth just 10 cents when it was first minted, sold for a staggering $88,000. How did this happen? Well, the coin's rarity, its pristine condition, and the fame of the error all played a role in driving up the price. For many collectors, owning a 2005 double die dime was the ultimate prize. It was a symbol of their dedication to the hobby and their ability to spot a rare find. So, what makes this coin so valuable? First, the rarity. Only a small number of 2005 dimes were struck with the double die error, and fewer still made it into circulation or survived in mint condition. Second, the condition. In the world of coin collecting, the better the condition, the higher the value. Coins that are in near-perfect shape, with little to no wear, are far more valuable than those that show signs of heavy circulation. Third, the demand. As word spread about the 2005 double die dime, collectors began to seek it out, pushing up the price. Now, you might be wondering, how can you find one of these rare coins? If you happen to come across a 2005 dime, it's worth taking a closer look. Check the word liberty on the obverse and see if there is any doubling or blurring. A subtle doubling effect is the key indicator that you found one of these valuable error coins. But keep in mind that the error is not always easy to spot, and not every 2005 dime will be a treasure. If you do find one, the next step is to have it professionally evaluated by a reputable coin dealer or numismatist. While the 2005 double die dime is certainly the most famous and valuable example from that year, the world of coin collecting is full of other rare and unique pieces waiting to be discovered. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, the thrill of finding a rare coin, especially one with an error, is a special part of the hobby. Who knows? Maybe the next coin you pull from your pocket could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The 2005 USA 1 dime coin is a perfect example of how something as simple as a small piece of currency can carry immense value. From its humble beginnings as part of a large minting run to its status as a rare collector's item, the 2005 double die dime is a testament to the power of rarity, history, and the artistry of coin production. So, the next time you reach into your pocket, take a second look. There may just be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of rare coins. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed learning about the fascinating world of numismatics. And remember, sometimes, even the most ordinary coins can turn out to be worth a fortune.